to Parliament. Parliament's legal advisors are here. Their job is to supply the committee with legal advice. It's not the job of Mr. Aronson to supply the committee with legal advice. If you want a legal opinion from him, you'll have to brief him and pay him extra. I understand him to be here as an evidence leader, and the role of an evidence leader is completely different to that of somebody giving you legal advice. If we as a committee want legal advice on a position, we must ask Parliament for the legal advice. That's why they're here. Thank you.
No, I think, Chair, okay, it may very well be that in terms of how we've been interacting here, we have been looking at the senior counsel and the team almost interchangeably with our legal team, because right from the beginning when we started our work, the understanding was that here is an external team which is coming to work together with the parliamentary team. Now, I have no problem with Honorable Baki's argument, Glenis's argument that no, that's not what they are meant for, and I don't want us to spend time on that. This is what I want to suggest. I think firstly, we would like to suggest that firstly, we want to welcome the decision of the DA to withdraw one of their members on the basis of the court case that has been opened, notwithstanding the fact that the court case may very well be a DA court case as opposed to an individual court case. But the mere fact that the member who happened to participate in that case is one of our own, it therefore suffices that they've taken the correct decision on that matter. Secondly, and I would want to assume that our view as the ANC is that that decision may have not necessarily dependent on certain legal principles, but rather on taking a position on moral ground and understanding the fairness that has got to unfold in the committee like ourselves when we're interacting with the witnesses. Now, I want to propose, Chair, two things. The first one is that the parliamentary legal team should look at this matter, even if they don't advise us now. We are allowed to proceed now with Honorable Skosana in attendance, while we allow them to go and look at the matter and advise us whether there are any legal grounds for him to be recused. However, in an event where his name pops up in the presentation by the witness who's coming here, in the context of him having or being expected later on to answer to certain things that are going to arise from the presentation, we should then agree in principle that we will treat him in the same way that we've treated others. But in terms of the legal standing of his participation here and now, I suggest that we defer that matter to the parliamentary legal team, and in the meantime, we allow the proceedings to resume and proceed with an understanding that will be advised later on whether or not he actually qualifies to remain in the committee. That's our submission as the ANC. Thanks.
Is there anybody who is opposed to that view? Okay. The DA, can I see if the Democratic Alliance wants to take a bite on the proposal?
Chair, we'd like to see the committee move along.
Okay.
So we have no difficulty with the proposal.
Okay. Honorable Sauls.
Chair, we as a committee, and yourself, Chair, we've delayed the issue unnecessarily from day one when we raised the issue of conflict. And we delayed it. The House decided that after the first witness, we will relook at the matter of conflict. After the first witness, I wrote to you. We spoke face to face. You delayed it even further and said we will discuss it in detail this coming Wednesday. Now we're sitting with a similar issue because we didn't make a decision on it. And even in the last meeting, online meeting, virtual meeting, it was agreed that there will be a legal opinion on the matter. Now, we must.
Honorable Souls.
Are you recognizing the?
No. I want to say to you that you are an honorable member of this parliament. And this committee is a committee of members of parliament. So when you see a hand of a person who is not a member of parliament, you must not be distracted. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Chair. It's just, I was looking at you and you were looking at the
This is a parliamentary proceeding.
So as I was saying, if we dealt with it and we got the legal opinion in the beginning, we would now not have the need for this proposal to say, let's first get a legal opinion and then we continue. That's the first thing. That's the first reason why I disagree with the proposal, because we have to have that legal opinion already. Then the MKP says that the matter or the criminal case was opened against General Sibia by Honorable Kosana, but not in his individual capacity, but as a party. If it was in his individual capacity, I would then have proposed Rule 163 of our rules, that they can co-opt someone else when the witnesses who is involved in that case are here. But now that it's the entire party on the record, the entire party must recuse themselves. For when the witness.
Yeah, but you see.
But let me finish.
Just to hold you there, I don't want you to debate the merits and the demerits, because the proposal of the Chief Whip is that General Sibia is already here. If we want to discuss, like you said, the chair said, we will itemize all those matters for Wednesday. We will discuss them. But for now, what we should do, for me, is to check if all of you agree with this proposal.
No, but that's unfair, Chair. Because before the proposal of the Chief Whip made that proposal when it was the Chief Whip's opportunity to comment on the issue, to discuss the issue. And then in his input, the Chief Whip then proposed. Now I'm only expected to deal with the proposal and not give my input. But everyone else before me gave their input. I need to be allowed to give my input on the matter.
It's okay. If you want to give that background, you can do. But,
I have to.
But where I stand, I would persuade you to talk to the proposal. The proposal that the Chief Whip makes is that all of you will still be given a chance to raise the views that you have around the matter. But for now, because he's proposing that we subject this matter to a legal opinion.
Chair, I'm saying that the position we have on the MKP on conflict, from day one, we had the same position on the DA on conflict. It's not only the MKP that is conflicted here. The entire 4 members that the DA has given initially is conflicted. All 4. Today we find out that the 1 member that's now being removed by the DA, it's not something beautiful. The Honorable Member Breitenbach said that they knew about this. She opened the case some time ago. So when they fielded her, they knew about the conflict of interest. Removing her today is not something beautiful. It is just proving that they intentionally knew about conflict, allowed the honorable member, and all four of them, I don't know about the new honorable member, but all four of them are conflicted. 3 out of the 4 needs to be witnesses. So now I'm saying, when we decide on MKP, we must also decide on DA. DA, the entire members of DA is conflicted.
Yes, Honorable Source, I hear, you see what we must do, Honorable members. Let us direct ourselves to, I know you are politicians and you are political parties. You know, political parties, they like sniping at each other.
No, Chair, point of order. I'm not sniping at anybody. I'm raising facts. Honorable Barnard, we've spoken about it. There's conflict. The witness, our terms of reference says, any allegation that the main witness, that General Mkhwanazi raises, and anyone implicated, we must investigate. General Mkhwanazi implicated Honorable Barnard, he implicated Honorable Cameron, he implicated Honorable Breitenbach. That's 3. Today, the DA lets us know that Honorable Schickling has opened up a criminal case and therefore there is bias. So therefore she's removed. These are facts. I'm not sniping at any party. This thing that when it comes to corruption, it has a black face. When it comes to those who must hold them accountable, it's only a white face. The 3 out of the DA that is implicated by General Mkhwanazi must become witnesses. We must question them. They have alleged part in political interference into the work of the police. We must interrogate that. If we're not going to be fair, then we can't expect the same from MKP. So I disagree with the proposal and I say we must look into conflict for MKP and the DA. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Vessels, can I check, honorable members from the DA, do you want to speak before? Because from here, I'm going to give the MKP to reply and then we must go on with the proceedings. I mean, can I check, okay. From Vessels, DA, do you want to speak?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, you know.
Yes, if you want to speak, hold it there. I just want to know.
Well, we'll wait.
Honorable Sangoni, would you want to speak or what the Chief Whip said is fine with yourselves?
Yes, I think we just still stand by that proposal, Chair. Only in the event that you change the decision, then we'd want to come back. Thank you.
Okay. So we are going to do like this is Honorable Vessels, Honorable Breitenbach, and then Honorable Nomvalo. And delay, you must come closer to me.
Thank you, Chairperson. Obviously, one has an opinion on this matter, but I think the proposal is progressive. Let's move on. Let's get a legal opinion. And let's discuss the issue on, I think, Wednesday when we have a meeting that we can discuss household issues. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Breitenbach.
Thanks, Chair. I would like to suggest to the Honourable Sauls that he be a little more circumspect in the use of the word implicate. We will go with the proposal of the ANC Chief Whip, just to get the matter moving along. The meeting on Wednesday, as you well know, I cannot attend for previously arranged reasons. The Honourable Cameron won't be there, so the Honourable Klopper will present our argument on Wednesday. Thank you.
Okay. MKP.
Chair, we disagree with the proposal If you take that decision, you can take it on your own. We are not part of it. We are going to consult our legal advisors on this issue, because it cannot be that you can do on the left what you can't do on the right. When we're faced with the most critical issue in this committee, involving a member of this committee who was implicated by the testimony made by General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, there was never a call for legal advice. Where does this call come from? Because the senior counsel does not do what we task him to do, to say, what is the issue here? Take us through. He's not doing that. And we say, out of nothing, let us have a legal advice. Because there's absolutely nothing that is a crisis that has been put before us, except narrating events of who opened the case when and for what. So, Chairperson, we don't have confidence already in that team, because they kept quiet. They never advised this committee on serious issues. Two, we disagree with what Honorable Breiterbach is saying. The senior counsel has a task of advising this committee. If that was not the case, he would not have raised the matter he's raising now. He would have come here in this committee and led the evidence, if he does not have a responsibility to advise the committee. So it means he has acted ultra vires if we were to go according to what Honorable Breiterbach is saying. The problem with what he has done is that he has just given us a half-cooked legal advice, a microwave legal advice, which is not enough, with no legal principles, a whole senior counsel. So, Chair, we disagree with this. If the committee takes that decision, take it on your own. We will consult our legal team, because we know the legal advice that will be given by Andile on this matter. Thank you.
Look, no, I'm not going to give any member time to speak. You know, if you get triggered by what other members are saying, we will not finish. We will discuss this matter the whole day.
Point of order, Chair.
Point of order, Honorable Sols, is taken.
Not taking input on the issue. I just wanted to say that we have asked for a legal opinion. So it's not true that there's no legal opinion. That legal opinion should be here now, so that we can have an answer to the issue. Because if we're going to allow a witness to sit there and be questioned by people who has a matter against him, it's not fair. His constitutional rights is being infringed upon, because he's not having a fair trial. So there should have been a legal opinion already now, because we've requested it when we addressed the issue of Honorable Barnard. So the question is just, is that legal opinion now available, instead of postponing this session for a legal opinion? Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Andile.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. Good afternoon to the honorable members, and greetings to my colleagues as well. Chair, for us, this is a fairly simple matter, because it is not the first time that a committee of parliament is confronted, with this question. And I think, Chair, if you look at the rules, you will agree with me that the rules do not say anything regarding the recusal of members. And I personally, Chair, I think there's a reason for that. And the reason is a simple one, is that you can't subject members of parliament to the requirements of independence or impartiality. If you read 5.1 of our terms of reference, it says, this committee is neither a judicial or quasi-judicial, it says, let me just read it. 5.1 under the format of the inquiry. And I think This begins from the second sentence. It is neither a judicial or quasi-judicial process, nor is it an adversarial process. Yeah, okay. I'll just stop there. So Chairperson, this committee does not perform a judicial or adjudicative function. Its function is merely to inquire into these matters and report on them to the National Assembly. So even if you are speaking about a decision in a technical legal sense, this committee won't be making any decisions. It will just report that which it has done, to the House. And of course, the House will have to take a decision whether they agree with the report of the committee as well. So, of course, Chairperson, it would be undesirable for any member of the committee to participate in its inquiry into the conduct of the member concerned. And if I listen to the conspectors of facts, Chairperson, the members who are talking about are not under investigation. I know I'm not aware that these members were investigating them. And of course, a member should not sit in judgment of his or her own conduct. I agree with that. But the mere fact that a member, of a committee has expressed strong views or has particular knowledge of matters under investigation does not disqualify them. I'm not sure if I've tried to simplify it. So we're not a court, Chair. We're not sitting as a court. That's my view. And of course, members of Parliament, I know I'm repeating myself, to subject them to requirements of independence and impartiality. That's not correct, Chairperson. Chairperson, I'll leave it there up until maybe there are follow-up questions. Thanks.
Look, this is what we are going to do, honorable members. Number one, I'm going to make a request to you that every time we discuss a matter, our focus must be on the matter for discussion. Because we spend a lot of time making political statements, veering away from the matter at issue. And that takes our time. Number two, I want you as honorable members to understand that we are a constitutional democracy. That is what we are in terms of architect. Mr. Tejana has read a clause in our terms of reference. And that clause that he has read, I believe it must also be read in context with the rules of Parliament. And the rules of Parliament must also be subjected to the supremacy of the law in this country. But for now, the matter has been raised by ourselves as members. And all what we are saying here has not been put to test. And maybe before I come back to this matter to tell you how we're going to move forward, let me go back to the matter of the senior counsel. This senior counsel is not a senior counsel of Parliament. This committee is a committee of Parliament which runs in terms of the rules that we ourselves as members of Parliament have adopted. And if there is any matter that has to do with the rules or our conduct as members of parliament, don't throw that matter to the senior counsel. It is not his matter. You may have whatever feelings you have about him, but let's not draw him to matters that are not within his or the ambience of his work. Please. He has been unnecessarily attacked here. The attack on him is unjustifiable. And we must desist from doing that. So there is a provision in Rule 165 of the rules. I don't know if that provision is applicable to the matter here, which deals with integrity. But Andile is right. You know, when we are members of parliament, the reason why and the chief whip has said it here, that it's very difficult to legislate on morality. But the reason why you are called an honorable member, it's not just a cheap tag that you get on the streets, honorable Lakhanyane, honorable Lakhanyane. They call you an honorable member because there is a huge expectation on your part to be exemplary in everything that you do. But unfortunately, we cannot legislate on morality, and our rules are silent on matters like this one. So, and this is a matter which I have personally told you in more than one occasion, said, just try it one day and mention my name, you will see. You will no longer see me sitting here. It's a moral stand. I don't have to discuss it with anybody. It's about my morality as a person. And it cannot even be commuted to anybody. And we cannot even try and persuade anybody to have that kind of understanding. But then what we will do, honorable members, is that we are going to proceed in this way. We are going to allow General Sibia to come here and make a presentation. And during their presentation, where there is information that comes out that implicates the member, or a statement is made to the extent that the witness expresses their unhappiness with the presence of the member, that is where we are going to have a problem. And number two, because this committee is a committee of parliament, and attention has to be brought to the office of the Speaker in terms of Rule 165. That Speaker, in the parliament that you lead, there is an ad hoc committee comprising of the following members. And in the evidence presented so far, there are the names of these members that continue or that are being mentioned. And then the office of the Speaker as the leader of parliament will then have to lead us in that regard. So I'm not going to open this matter for a debate now.
Just a point of clarity, please, Chair. I just want to be clear. Clarity, please.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, to understand, did the legal advice, is the legal advice saying that there's no requirement for us to be impartial And Chair, you are agreeing with that? Just for clarity, so I have an understanding.
No, let's put the issue of the legal advice aside. Because if there is a legal advice, the legal advice must come from the office of the Speaker. That is what the Chief Whip has said here. Go and seek legal advice. So the leader of this parliament is the Speaker. And the rules enjoin us to report every matter to the office of the Speaker. So that is exactly what should happen. Senior Counsel.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members. Yeah, just in addition to what Andile drew attention to, I think it's important to draw attention to the following terms of reference that binds this committee. The first is at paragraph 1.6. It says a committee of parliament that holds a public inquiry for purposes of reporting to the NA exercises public power and is obliged to do so in accordance with, but not limited to, the fundamental principles of the rule of law, legality, rationality, procedural fairness, and justice, ensuring that its procedure and report adheres thereto. Then at 1.7, the committee agrees to conduct the inquiry in accordance with the provisions of these terms of reference, which are based on the aforesaid principles.
Yeah.
Then just
there is nothing wrong with what you are saying, Senior Counsel. If you listened, I said that the rules of parliament that we have and the terms of reference and the Constitution of the Republic have to be read together if you want to make a proper interpretation of that.
And then, Chair, at the same 5.8, 5.8.1, where is this? Where's that rule that you? There's again a reference to the same principles. And can I just say 5.1,
Chairperson? Chair?
Can I just say
Chairperson?
Lastly, 5.1.
Chairperson, I'm calling an order on you, Chair.
Okay, Honorable
Chair, you have just said a few minutes ago, the legal counsel does not have a right to advise this committee. It can only be advised by the Speaker. The reason why this meeting is on hold is because of the advice that he has initially given to us. 2, you are allowing him to proceed with his legal advices, and we will demand our right of reply. Because it can't just be left hanging. If he is advising us on the direction that we must take, we must also deliberate on his advices. I just want you to know, Chairperson.
Yeah.
And if you say he has no right to advise us, he can only lead evidence, as it has been said by Honorable Breitenbach. So be it. We can't be found wanting because we don't know exactly what he's doing now. Is he advising us or what is happening here, Chairperson?
But
and I think you are creating more confusion.
Listen here, Honorable Nomvalo. The senior counsel has raised a matter here to the attention of the committee. And that can never be equated to him giving us a legal advice. He came here and said, I want you to note as the committee that you have the following members of your committee who are being mentioned in a letter that has been sent to you by General Sibiya's lawyers. That's what the senior counsel did. And the enfilade on the senior counsel must stop. It must stop. We cannot allow honorable members to continue to attack the senior
Point of
counsel.
order, Chair. I think I respected the Chair. When I've been raising my hand, you are not pointing me. Chair, abantu base South Africa right now, bawomela ukukhuluma nobabusibeya bazi ukuthi uyaganga or akaganga. Let's stop wasting time where Chief Whip has also given it direction. That's in phambili kanjani. You, Chair, are wasting time now, continuously allowing this matter to continue. He has given an advice. If it's not an advice, what is it? So, Chair, I'm asking my plea to you, Chair, before you speak, with all respect, can we kindly respect South Africans now that we take this matter as Andile has spoken? It will be dead on that Wednesday deliberation, and we don't accept it. But we have a Wednesday to talk about that matter. For now, can we put South African first? Can you be a chair? Niyasabu kulma chair right now, because the first time I spoke, I told you that you are not running the committee correctly. And today I always find myself victimized. When I pick up my hand, you jump me. And you also emphasize on time, alternates and all those things. But can I tell you this time around, Chair, you are not steering this committee right at this moment. Please protect South Africans, give South Africans the respect you've always given them. Life, it's totally different. Ubhanatu ugangile la baba la mama le wathatha ithombo enika abantu afaka impilo amaphoyisa enkingeni. It's totally different with a person othunywe umkhonto wesizwe to open a case. Totally different. We are still failing to see that clear, implicated and umuntu othunyiwe. Come on, Chair. Hlonipha abantu ngiyacela.
Okay. Look, I did not expect you to debate the matter. I expected you to raise the point of order. That point of order is ruled out because if you want to say the chair does not recognize you, I said when I noted the hands, I said to you guys, I'm going to give the MKP chance to reply. No, we don't run a meeting like that. And if you are unhappy with the chair, do not attack the chairperson and say the chairperson is not running the meeting. We have been running these proceedings from the first day under very difficult circumstances, but we are where we are today. And I'm going to plead with you, honorable members. We have to be calm. If we are going to make this committee to work, we have to be calm. There is nothing that will stop us from doing our work. The only thing which will defeat us is the attitude that we bring to the meeting and our proceedings. Honorable Vessels.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I think we should be fair. The senior counsel brought a possible perception of conflict of interest to the committee's attention. That is his prerogative. It is his due diligence to do, because we have to disclose a possible perception of a conflict of interest. That's not advice, but Chairperson, let's move on, please.
Do you want to speak, Honorable Skosana? Do you think it's fair to speak on a matter where your name is subject of discussion?
Yeah, in fact, I just want... It's about me. I'm not going to comment on this, but I just wanted to support my colleague to say it's improper to say the evidence leader is not giving advice. He's giving advice. The fact of the matter is that he's giving advice. And you said the proposal was that Andile, like Honorable Brechenbach was saying, the Andile is from the Parliamentary Legal Service. He has mentioned what must happen. But now we are debating that with the SC. I mean, with the SC, our evidence leader. I don't think it's fair. In other words, we are saying, I don't want to go to the merits to say it's wrong for Umkhonto Wesizwe Party to open a case against anyone in this country. Therefore, it means Umkhonto Wesizwe won't be able to participate in Parliament when this matter is going to be debated.
But you are going back to debate the issue that,
thank you, Chair.
That we have
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to highlight that the SC is giving legal advice. It's not giving any other thing. It's not questioning the witness. It's arguing that MKP should not be here. It's not about me. This is not a private matter. Mkhwanazi has opened a case.
I want to know.
Thank you, Chair.
Do you still need some time to talk on this matter that involves your name?
No, Chair, I'll listen. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable members, we have concluded this item. Like we have said, it will still be discussed in the committee, but it has to be brought to the attention of the Speaker of Parliament. Committees of Parliament report to the Speaker on the work that they do. And the Chief Whip is right in his proposal when he says Parliament will have to get a legal opinion on this matter, because this is a matter which has to do with the rights of the citizens of this country. So let's conclude it that way. And I want to thank you for your participation in the discussions. And where you might have said things during the discussions that you may regret, when you are alone, just inform yourself that I regret what I would have said. I could have said it in a better way, but I said it different. Don't tell anybody about those regrets. Just inform yourself. That is how you become a better person. Let me check if I must give you a 9 minutes break, and so that we reorganize ourselves with General Sibia. Will come back at 22:1. Yeah, thank you so much.
This I have not responded because it's still in my head. You could see, how do I attend to it? Same as manga, but I'm from we qualify on the psychic makes a declaration. And then because I think it won't be a once off, something that you might need for discussion.
They don't send around the whole temple. The issue of the I mean, what part of my
It is right. If you had my contribution.
No, but again,
The first are not the same. Materials. Was going to take your That is why my advice allowed because I would imagine you think it's going to come maybe not the important that's why I say the parliamentary table we must agree to proceed or not. They must go and check whether it's perfect. Yeah. And I qualify by saying unless it is make submission which will also take then we can decide in the way we want to. But at the moment they are not the same. One of the causes that I stand is fair to say left with the right. So that is why I was like, yeah, it's only fair to say the parliamentary what you do with if a matter is like 20,000 so give us time for people. Manje angazi bandi duration ubana wanje uyathanda ukuthi advice now.
No, until then, I think to say I will think just stop out in terms of the law, in terms of the parliament. That's what you said.
That's what you said. That is fine. Yeah. Even if you push your money, or push your days, all we wanted that born, they must come to a community. Because we don't want at the end of our way. Somebody should have a legal challenge. On a matter that is simple and effective.
I mean, I would understand when I'm paying for my city. If there are allegations that cost and there is a particular matter you don't say anything because because you open the case.
Yeah.
Because not you would holistically ask people with community or send them to
You know, that's another way of doing like hello. The right. Now they are protected.
I am Nhlanhla.
Yeah, Zwakala. They are also telling him as well. Yeah, Zwakala. Yeah. Serious? That one.